I don't have to go through the steps now to type in his name and his record will come up because as you can see his mugshot. This is him, and this is what did it for me because it said the offense date. That was the day that's in question, January 19th. That's when this occurred. That's when she was on live. So that's what made me determine like, yo, yeah, you know what I mean? That's him. So, yep, he was booked yesterday. The offense date, aggravated sodomy. Now what I did was now because I read this early on a live that I just finished doing. I'm going to read here in this one right here. A person convicted of the offense of aggravated sodomy shall be punished by imprisonment for life, family. For life. I'm going to read it again. A person convicted of the offense of aggravated sodomy shall be punished by imprisonment for life or by a split sentence that is a term of imprisonment for not less than 25 years and not exceeding life imprisonment, followed by probation for life. You know what I mean? You can do 25 years, come home and be on probation for life. Shit. Any person convicted under this code section of the offense of aggravated sodomy shall, in addition, be subject to the sentencing and punishment provisions of code section 17-10-6.1 and 17-10-7. Now read this. When evidence relating to an allegation of aggravated sodomy is collected in the course of a medical examination of the person who is the victim of the alleged crime. So now they just gonna have to get the toxicology, get the evidence from the rape kit and all of that. So if a person is filing a charge against somebody, they're gonna have to go through those procedures, those steps to determine whether it actually happened. And then, you know, they're going to go by the footage, and maybe they have some footage from the club that we have not seen that, because that's a big club. So they have to, you know, have cameras in there too to basically secure them in their place and the welfare of the people that's in the club. So they have to have cameras. So maybe they got something that we don't know. You know what I mean? As far as footage is concerned. So I'm going to read again. Sorry to do a little sidebar, but it's just to, to be more detailed, I guess. Anyway, when evidence relating to an allegation of aggravated sodomy is collected in the course of a medical examination of the person who is the victim of the alleged crime, the law enforcement agency investigating the alleged crime shall be financially responsible for the cost of the medical examination to the extent that expense is incurred for the limited purpose of collecting evidence. So all that shit gonna come out her pocket, okay? But any motherfucking who, this thing is crazy, family. This guy is probably gonna get life now. This guy's facing life, and then if that other girl come too, and charge him for that when he, drugged her and ripped her pants off, and she still have the text messages from the back and forth from the beginning, the inception of them meeting and texting before they met each other, and to after the fact. So she have from front to back of evidence on this guy. And some people just said in the chat that look like he has a smirk on his face. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. Y'all let me know y'all thoughts.
You talking about the Atlanta thing?
But he turned himself in. So Shaquille Ross, who was his lawyer, she says to be, after she said that she was his lawyer 2 days ago, so on the 28th, he turned himself in the next day, which was yesterday. So was it his best bet to turn himself in now? Maybe they have a strategy. I don't know. But we would definitely know what's going to happen now. So with that being said, hey, I'm just a goddamn YouTuber. All Viral Access Media, please like, please share, please subscribe, and click that bell for more notifications. Alright? Unbiased with real talking, great perspectives. And I'm out this motherfucker. Peace.
Hello, Mike. I tune in to All Viral Access Media. Make sure you subscribe to All Viral Access Media, where real conversation that matters goes down. Love this channel.
Tribute to people thinking negatively about black women. If you had said that, we'd have never debated. Just like if you had said, "Are you one-sided?" I'd have said yes. Because when you said it, I said yes. But that's not what you said. You said I contribute to them acting worse. And I was like, how am I doing this?
Because the people that you contribute to thinking negative about black women are the people who are making the movies, are the people who are making music, are the people who are showing beauty in magazines. The same thing that affect black women in the media. Don't you know a part of this reason why, like when you talk about hair hats and black women wearing weave, right? Obviously there's something going on psychologically with the love of self and hair, right? And that when you talk about them loving their hair and loving the image of themselves, do you not know the effect of media and what media portrays beauty as? And then because you just said you affect the thinking of people about black women. The people who I'm talking about when I was talking about some of those white people, whatever, some of them are part of the media that is projecting images.
Wait. Let's go with what you were saying. Let's go with it 100%. If I'm affecting white people and all I do is make fun of black women in weaves, then what white people would do was on their media make fun of black women with weaves. They would be doing what I'm doing, and while they were making fun of these black women with weaves, it would happen the same reason why people in Jamaica and all over are getting skin bleaching creams. Because people are making fun of them being dark. Their response to that is to hate being dark, so they're trying to be light. That is a fact. So, if what you're saying is true, my making fun of women with weaves would make media make fun of women with weaves, and their response to that would be to take it off. Because they would get tired of being made fun of.
No, that's not necessarily true. Just because you're saying that because
this is when I get emotional. I said something that's a fact, and you turning right around and you were saying, I know, but what I'm saying is this: I said something that is a fact because you've been saying that these people are acting this way because of what's being done to them. If they're being told they're ugly, they're wearing weaves to try and look pretty. If they're being told looking African is ugly,
you're
they're getting no jobs.
Oversimplifying that.
But you did that.
But listen, bro. Let's just keep it real. I'm not gonna play the games. It's much deeper than someone just making this goes deep. There's a deep history behind self-hate and why black people in general are not in love with the texture of their hair or in love with their skin color. And the people you're talking about don't have to do what you're talking about because you do the job for them.
Okay, but I'm saying if I was making fun of them, just like people make fun of anything. If you make fun of somebody fat, they feel self-conscious for being fat, and they try to lose weight.
They don't. If you make that's why, bro, you need to pick up some psychology books. If you make fun of someone being fat, it's not going to make them go get on the treadmill the next day.
Not all of them, but it will make them be ashamed.
Let me finish my thought. What's going to happen is they're going to run to the kitchen and bake a cake and start eating some more because
that's not true for everyone.
Listen.
That's not true for everyone. You can't say that.
Of course, nothing's true for everyone.
So then
part of the reason of why they're doing what they're doing is
what you're saying.
This is how they deal with things psychologically. Some people have an eating disorder. When they get stressed, they go eat. When they're depressed, they eat. So if you telling me if someone is overweight and you make fun of them if they're fat and you expect them to go hit the treadmill, dude, you are long gone and out of space and out of the cosmos.
But you just made that point. Okay, let's go with what your point is. Then if that's your point, then the same thing happens with how I speak. Some people will hear it and change. Some people
Some
won't.
do.
So you
Most
won't give
won't.
it.
Most won't. Some will. Most won't. There's
And guess what? And guess what? Hold on, wait. But that's not a but that's not a contribution. It's just like the 12-step program. Some people who go in there will come out non-alcoholic and non-drug addicts. Some people who come out will. Nobody goes to 12-step and say, you're contributing to more alcoholics. No, I'm not.
Don't compare yourself to 12-step.
Okay,
don't
do me a favor. Do me a favor. Because
I'm just saying that is definitely not a good analogy. You comparing what you do to a 12-step program for black women is outrageous. That's outrageous.
First off, what I did was make an analogy.
It's a bad, very bad, not even close.
Okay,
go ahead.
Second off, what I'm going to ask you to do.
What?
Because I'm now getting tired of it. Because I've let you do it and I've been very nice and
Tommy's
talk right past
punk.
it. When you talk to Dr. Mayat, she asked you one question and it bothered you and you felt like she was testing your intelligence. So, sir, do me a favor. Stop doing it to me. Can you not do that? Because you did get bothered by a person said one thing to you. So if you could, stop doing it to me.
Waiting for that.
What do you mean? Am I, okay, audience, am I wrong for asking him to stop doing something that he said that bothers him? No, what I'm asking you to do is stop doing something. I even tested your intelligence, and when you were on my show last time, you thought I was challenging your intelligence. And you've continued to do it throughout this show with your little smart-ass comments to me. You have.
How am I? I didn't feel like you were challenging my intelligence.
I think you need to pick up. Yes, you did.
I'm saying that you feel like I'm challenging yours.
No,
right?
You felt like I did in the last one by the words I was using. I'm asking you, whatever you got to say, just say it. Stop with the other stuff.
Tommy, and this is part of your problem.
I'm telling you
can't
now.
Get over the past.
No, I'm telling you now to stop doing it. If you got something to say it. Stop telling me you need to pick up a psychology book.
All right, I'm gonna say this.
Stop saying that, because if I said it to you, you would.
Listen, I'm gonna prove my point right now. Okay, Tommy.
See,
I'm gonna stop.
this is what I don't understand. He keeps doing stuff, literally just like a woman. You're doing things,
No,
and
you're
then you
doing
think it's
woman
cool
stuff.
when you do it. When you know
Tommy's
it's
doing
not.
some
Because
woman
I'm not
stuff.
doing it to you. All you do is show me the same
You
respect.
hear him?
I answer your question. I'll say, well,
This guy,
sorry,
he
I
came
picked up a book.
Tommy,
And you
this
don't
guy
like it when
coming-
people
this
do it. You don't
guy's
have a video
silent
showing
right
you
here.
don't like it. So
just
give me
man the
same
fuck
respect.
up, Tommy.
Look,
and let
look,
it go.
look. He said, man,
There
the
you go,
fuck
son.
up.
Bro, it's really not that shit. You just
Yeah, see how he
look,
keeps
look.
talking, but when a woman spoke to him that way, he didn't like it.
No,
I'll
no.
play it. Because all I did
Tommy,
was ask you, and people
you
keep saying
hear
it
this?
seems fair. Even the people who
Tommy,
don't like me are saying, you are doing this, sir. And you act like you're not doing it. There is no reason for it, because that video of you doing it with Dr.
Listen.
Mayat shows you don't like it. So don't do it to other people.
This guy
I'm not going to
is
cuss at you after I just told somebody else not to cuss. The fact is, you won't ever
He said,
concede
don't
to a
compare
point or
yourself
say,
to a
brother,
star-
we on the
star-
same page. You right. Because if you start telling me, you need to pick up a book, brother, then you won't like it. Because we got evidence that you won't like it. We have a video of you not liking it.
How'd you get that video, Tommy?
It was sent to me.
By who?
Let's answer it how you answer stuff. That's semantics. Did it change the facts? Did it change the fact that you didn't like what you felt? Even the other two people on the panel said, she's not challenging your intellect. She's asking you a question, and you still were mad.
Those people are my haters. I wasn't mad
my
at all.
God. Do you
But anyway,
you're still not going to concede the
let's
fact.
move on.
Other
Tommy,
people,
I'm not
again,
gonna let
people
you
who don't like me
distract.
keep saying,
Let's
all you had to
move
do was
on.
say, okay, I'll stop doing it. That's all you had to
So
say.
I can prove right now what I'm talking about. I heard you earlier on your show when I talk about letting your experience shape you. I heard you earlier on your show talking about, you know, your relationship with your parent, with your mother, and the pain she put you through, right? And this proves my point exactly. And I was listening, I was feeling all that pain that you was talking about, all the things you experienced. And I said, wow, I have a greater understanding of why Tommy's like he is. You ever seen, like, the superhero movies, right? When a guy, he's like a good guy, right? And then he goes through this experience, kind of like, and then he turns into the bad guy because of his experience, like Two-Face on Batman. He experienced the pain of losing his wife, and he was split down the middle. And one side was like the evil side and
That's
one
a
side
good
was the good
analogy.
side. Your experience turned you into this monster you are today.
You mean
And
like
that's-
black? You mean like black women?
And that's exactly.
So as long as wait. So you're thank you.
But
So since you
let
can
me
call me a
complete my
monster,
thought,
so
Tommy.
since you
Tommy,
can call me
can I
a monster, no,
complete
you
my-
can't. No, you can. But I'm just telling you, since you can call me a monster, then I can refer to them as one. That's fair.
No, you're a liar.
No, it's not fair. So, if you let me complete my thought, what I was saying is, those experience. Remember how we was talking earlier, and you was saying I was telling you, don't let yourself be shaped by bad experiences. Your personal experience does not project on everybody else's experiences. There's people who have beautiful experience with black women. So you in a victim consciousness. You want us to. You want to. Cry me
I'm
a
not
river.
trying to speak. I'm not trying to
Black
speak for. And
women-
wait a minute. I'm not trying to speak for
Well, hold
everyone.
up. The big bad black woman has victimized the big strong Tommy Naya. You was victimized by the little old stupid black woman, Tommy, and she created who you are
Oh,
today. You're
snap.
stronger than that, brother, right?
Oh.
The big bad black
Oh.
woman did this to you.
Do
My
y'all hear what
verse.
he's doing? Let me point
My
something
verse.
out to you, brother. There are 4 women in my house right now.
My
2 of
verse.
them are little girls. And 2 of them are grown women. And those grown women, while I work, black women, natural hair, cook, clean, and everything.
Good
So
clean.
unlike, I know you threw this at Dr. Mahad, so I can throw it at you. You got 1 woman in your house, is what you told Dr. Mahad. I got 2 in mine.
Know what that means?
We're not
So I
gonna
don't
get
have
into
so I don't have
a
that problem. What you're trying to tell me
a
about?
contest
No,
between me and you. I'm sure
No,
you
no.
have much greater
So
things.
what I'm trying,
to
no,
be
no, what I'm trying to tell
about.
you is
Now
I
you're
don't,
getting in the ego.
no. What I'm saying is, so I don't have that problem that you just tried to say I had.
No,
If
you
you were
don't
right,
have it now. I said experience that turns you into the monster you are today,
But
the
you-
black woman terrorist.
if black women, wait a minute, since you want to tell me how weak I am, if black women,
No, I didn't say anything
well,
about
you said
right
I know
now,
you're stronger than. Oh Jesus Christ!
No,
Go ahead.
are you listening?
When I can
So-
speak, I'll let you speak. When I can speak, I'm gonna speak because I'm not gonna do
All
it.
right,
Did he
great.
call him weak?
I'm glad that you're gonna let me complete this thought now. So the proof is in the pudding. When I heard you talking earlier today, I said I got a better understanding of Tommy Sotomayor. You have let your experience turn you into something from your personal experience, but your experiences is not my experiences or his experiences, or you should not let it make you take that experience and just group a whole bunch of people in one place because of your experiences. Cry me a river. You know what I'm saying? Like
I
we
keep
all
going.
have,
Nigga said,
we all
"Cry
have
me a
our
river."
stories, brother. I've been doing. Listen,
What's his
I
name?
agree. I don't
Justin
disagree
Timberlake.
with everything you say. I've been done wrong by black women. Guess what? I've done wrong to black women, but I have consciousness who makes me say I
Hey,
can.
Vic.
Even though I went through this
He
pain,
thinking Justin
I'm not gonna let
Timberlake.
it shake me into something when I can be aware of what happened and to learn from that experience, move on and become a better person. You're no different from a person saying I grew up around dope dealers, so I'm gonna be a dope dealer all my life. I know nothing else. No, when you get a certain consciousness, brother, when you learn better, you do better. You are playing the victim, the same victim that you try to say black women play. So I see how it's playing out. It's parallel. You saying they playing the victim and they make excuses for everything, but you're making excuses for your terrorism on them.
Thank you, Robin, who said that's uncalled for, but he's not gonna stop.
What's uncalled for?
He believes that when he's talking and he keeps throwing the same low blows, that if somebody throws at him, he'd have a problem.
What?
But I didn't cut him off.
Did he say
I
anything?
wanted y'all to hear how every time he gets to a point, just like in the Maya interview, he low blows you because you ask a simple question. He just does it over and over again and thinks it's cool.
I didn't say low
Now,
blow.
when you say I'm the black woman terrorist,
Oh, okay.
if black women are so weak
That's a low blow.
that they have to go and find a dude on YouTube because I'm not in their house and I'm not in front of them. And everything that I talk about is preceded by a video about something evil or vile. And last I checked, a terrorist comes to your town, comes to your home, gets on your plane, comes in your church, and victimizes you. When you're saying, please don't victimize me. Please let me just continue to worship at my church. Please let my flight go from here to New York.
I
And they say
speaking
no.
from this emotional side right
Guess
now.
what? I do none of that. This strong black woman
He
has
called
to
him a black
load up
terrorist. He called
her
Tommy a
computer,
black terrorist.
her
To
iPhone
women, 'cause
or her
the
Android,
way he talks about
her tablet, or
and he
whatever
said-
she
he said
uses to
a
peruse the
terrorist
internet,
is one that comes on your
has to
plane
see
and
my name on
come
it.
to your city. Nah,
Realize that the
terrorists could
first time she saw me, that
terrorists
she
could
was
be
not
on the radio.
interested, that she didn't like it.
terrorists
Bypass her common
never
sense
touched towns. He
of
was
I
just
put my
weird.
hand on this stove and it burned me, so I
His way
won't
of
do it
thinking.
again. And fall under the Lex Vortex book of I didn't like it the first time, let me keep on doing it, because if I don't keep doing it, then I'm
That's
weak.
him being a weasel.
That's
So
false.
she keeps watching my stuff on her own volition
He getting
and gets
emotional.
terrorized by it.
She's terrorized through the vibrations and energy you send too. It's not just somebody watching. Maybe let's give you a little education about energy and vibrations.
See how he
This
keeps
stuff is
speaking? The
going
same
out.
way he spoke just
stuff is
again. He
going
did
out.
not, the way he spoke just again was the same thing that bothered him about when Dr. Mayat talks, and yet he can't stop himself from doing it. He can't. This is a grown man who I'm asking to have a
You love
respectful
that Dr.
conversation.
Mahat thing.
Again, I asked you to stop doing something, and you can't. The same thing that bothers you. That would be the problem. If it didn't bother you, then you'd be right.
I'm
But
not
it
bothered by
bothers you
nothing
when
you're
someone does
saying.
it.
It bothers you, man. Let's have a conversation. Man up,
Do y'all
bro.
hear it? See? Yeah, I
Like,
just want you
I'm
guys
not
to see.
bothered by you when you bring up the Dr. Mahat thing. Am I getting bothered by it? I know
No.
you're trying to use that as a
No,
topic. but it's not bothering
I'm
me.
pointing out
not
that
bothering
during
you.
this thing and
He's
during
getting
my
bothered.
last time I talked to you,
Again, how-
you
But
don't.
why am I not bothered like you?
Jesus Christ, I just don't think this man has the capacity to be able to understand logic.
What logic you talking?
Maybe I don't, but I know one
What are you
thing.
talking
Whatever
about?
you say, I'm just going to take it and respond. I'm not going to get emotional and overly sensitive.
Who?
I don't know what that means, sir.
He
Why don't you
just
tell me
said
when
it.
I'm wrong? Because you don't. Last I checked, I've done debates, and you don't lose a debate because you got emotionally or overly sensitive. You lose a debate because you said something that was not factually correct. That's the only way you lose debates. Not because somebody
usually-
saw you raise your voice. You still didn't lose the debate. You can be in the courtroom and be a lawyer and turn a witness of your own into a hostile witness, but you didn't lose the case because you did it. You lost the case because you lost on facts. So you can't
Yeah,
make
but
me feel
usually-
bad because of that.
But usually when you get emotional and overly sensitive, you're going to forget about the facts and start going into an
I don't know what
emotional
usually
thing.
you're saying, because when I asked you
So-
what facts I didn't address last time, you
Oh,
didn't address it.
oh man.
But I'm
doing
addressing it right now when
You
I
still
say
can't
it's
tell me
a
what
fact.
fact I have
It's
missed.
So
Which,
it's a
you know.
fact that you let your experiences shape you into the person you are today.
I told you that.
So
I
it's-
told you that
so-
earlier. That you,
right,
that,
so-
that you
so
repeating
what I was
something
saying-
a person has agreed to is weird. Because if you're
Right.
repeating a
It's
fact
time
and the
to
person
go on
said
that.
that is a fact,
You're losing me
that's
here.
kind of what I would like to
But
have
it
in that
doesn't
conversation.
seem like you're acknowledging the
They
extent of
acting
what
like
it means.
Floyd Mayweather
That
in the
means
ring.
I told you earlier that if you let your bad experiences and your pain shape who you turn out to be, then either you lack knowledge on how to overcome it and use it to your advantage, or you have let your painful experiences shape you into something you shouldn't be,
Like
or
black
something
women.
that may not be
It shouldn't
the
be.
most
It's not.
Like black women
So
today,
beneficial
that you keep giving those same black women
It's not
who
your-
didn't even go through the stuff you're trying to
Wait,
talk about.
what are you-
They didn't
hold
go
up.
through slavery, but
Where
you're
is
still
he
giving
going?
them that pass
Yeah,
of
yeah.
why they've become
You
the
see how he
narcissists
just
that
threw
they
him
are,
off?
and telling me and other people that they should understand
He just
and
took
be
his point and took it
be
somewhere
understanding
else.
to them about it and
just started
try to
talking.
help them through this pain
Then
they
he
never
finished his
experienced.
thought.
So you want to be nice and conciliatory to them who didn't even experience it,
This
but
guy-
try to
this
use
guy,
it as a
young OG.
bludgeon
And he
against
let
me and
him
say,
talk to you,
you're
you know,
supposed to
he
be
ain't
stronger
finished
than
his
that. I actually went through it.
So it'll
They
be
didn't.
hard for
And you
somebody
give
to
them a
come
pass
back
on
and
it.
They
finish
didn't
their
go
thought
through.
because
First
they
of
They
all,
didn't go
when
through
you
caught
slavery.
up on
They
what
didn't go
they
through the
said too,
60s.
so
The women I'm talking to now
point
didn't
just
go through the 60s. They weren't there.
It just goes
The
on
women I do
Alright.
videos about, they weren't born in the 60s.
That's called
They were
that's
born in the
called
80s and the 90s.
directing the conversation.
okay, and so the experience, the pain you experienced in your childhood
right
from
back
the
to it,
upbringing
though.
that you got
He
from
went
your
right back
mother,
to it.
she didn't go through slavery, right? And neither did my mother, but she was raised by her mother and her great grandmother and her mother, and that those experiences have passed down. And you, even though you didn't experience directly that dysfunction, you are an outcome of that dysfunction.
So all I
Because
asked was
the
why don't you give me,
experience,
all I asked was
hold
why don't
up,
you
so
give me
the
a pass?
experience,
But you're not answering my question.
so the experience you had,
You
you
have
didn't,
to
you
answer
didn't
my
experience.
question. You can't
fidgeting
just
in his
talk.
seat.
Again, let me
All
go
right,
to my
so you
Look,
don't
question.
want
look,
that
look.
thought
No,
to
you
my
didn't
head.
answer the question. Guys, I asked him a direct question, did I not? I said, you're giving them a pass of things they never experienced. You're asking men like me to try and understand how they got there and not beat them down for where they are.
Yeah, he about to shut
so
it
by
off.
that logic, men like me should try to be understood instead of beaten down and told them they weak. You should understand them because they came from somewhere that they actually experienced, unlike the women who are claiming slavery made them act out and want to wear weave and stuff. You're being nice to them and understanding to them, then you do the same thing to men like me who are only acting, you wouldn't call us weak, you give us the same pass you're giving the women, unless you want to call the women weak. If you want to call them weak, then I'll agree with you.
I do understand you, and that's why I don't hate you, Tommy. I don't hate. I understand. I don't hate those women. But I'm not going to talk to you like a woman. I'm going to talk to you
talk to me
like a man.
No.
I'm not
don't talk to me like a man or a woman.
And rub your head and say, "Oh, poor Tommy.
So men.
I'm going to say, "Yo, man up. We're going to do this like men."
So men can be verbally beat down, but not women, is what you're saying. I just want to make sure we're on the same page.
Nah, I'm not saying men can be verbally beat down. I'm saying the way you deal with a man and the way you deal with a woman is differently.
Okay, and the way I deal
so
with I deal with a ratchet and the way I deal with a non-ratchet is different. That's why you have women who come to my show who listen, who understand, and who get it. That's why you have men. Just like you said, my experience isn't everybody's experience. You're 100% right. And I never said it was. That's why I said I'm the roofer. I'm the oncologist. You don't come to me if your house or you're not building something that I need. That's common sense. I'm good for the people who've had the experience, who want to hear it and share it, just like the brother who called in before you. Not everybody had that experience, but I'm not going to deny the brother's experience or people who had it. And at the end of that show, some people were like, my mom was great. Some people was like, my dad was great. And some people were like, I needed to hear this.
Which one are you?
All right, that's your perspective. And my perspective is that I'm not here to say you're this is my opinion. This is why you have this show. So there's people on here that disagree with you. I disagree with you, and that's why we're here, and that's why we're talking. So I don't understand why you would make that point. Like you're saying, well, because am I supposed to not tell you where my grievances are with you in terms of the way you go about it?
I made the point because you said, yes, just because you had that experience doesn't mean everybody's experience was like that. Well, you didn't have to tell me that because I know that, and I address it that way. I don't say that every guy's experience was like that about me. As a matter of fact, one of the first things I tell people on my show, and my audience who will tell you this, I say, just because I've had this experience with something, because I don't date women with kids, doesn't mean that any man shouldn't. And I had a man call in that show. He said, man, I met a woman when I met the dude who was in the last show. He married a woman who had 3 kids, and he said this is the happiest he's ever been. There are plenty of men who called in the show and said, I married a woman that had 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever kids, and they happy. Guess what? They're supposed to be. Because what makes you happy doesn't make me happy. What I eat doesn't make what I eat and enjoy doesn't make you enjoy it and shit. It's 2 different things.
I agree with that.
So, my audience is we're not a monolith here. Because there are women here who wear weave and still...
Your audience are comment terrorists.
Okay.
But
I'll go back to what my point was. My audience is not a monolith, meaning there are people who wear weave who still listen to me. There are people who have kids out of wedlock who still listen to me. There are people with tattoos who still listen to me. Just like there are white people who still listen to the pro-blacks saying white people ain't shit.
And I know black women that say, I can't take 2 minutes of Tommy Sotomayor.
And there's several black women like that who will never sleep with me, who will never go on a date with me. But that's not going to make me stop dating. And it's not going to make them stop dating either.
Right.
And I shouldn't worry about the people who don't like me. Because, sir, there are people who don't like you either. And I guarantee you, there are more people who like me than like you. And there are more people who dislike you than dislike me.
All right. So I don't think this was about you and me, but okay.
Yes, it was. You kept bringing it. You brought it, number one, to what people... No, I'm saying... No. It is. Wait a minute. Because it wasn't about how I grew up either. Because let me tell you what you did. You told me about me hearkening to Dr. Mayat video. Yet you hearkened to my video with the guy before and tried to make a judgment off me based on what you heard off that video. But guess what I don't know about you? Yours. Guess what you got mad at me about in the last show? When I brought up how I think you might have grown up. That bothered you. But I don't know, and you've never told me. But if you wouldn't sit here and tell me.
You're all over the place right now, Tom.
What do you mean I'm all over the place? I'm trying to tell you that you're telling me that there are women who don't like me. Well, sir, there's nobody on planet Earth that has every woman liking them, every child liking them, every white person, or every black person.
I will agree with that.
If I use your logic, which is there are people who don't like it, so I should
that
stop.
wasn't.
Why are you telling me the statement?
Because you said that
you got 2 hours.
There's women who hear my show and. Like, that's not the majority, brother. Like,
that was in response
women
to
who
you
hear my show.
That was in response to you telling me.
So I just said there's plenty of women.
I said there are women who hear my show in response to you telling me that there are women who don't like it. Saying that there are 2 separate groups. I would have never had to say women who like it if you didn't come on here telling me it's women who didn't. I don't have to tout that women listen to me. People listen. Of all colors, of all ages. But when someone else turns around and tells you, you're terrorizing women, then of course I would have to point out, there are a bunch of women who do listen and they're not terrorized. So you telling a person not to generalize, all while
most of those women, they got some psychological issues. I can see it in your chat room. They're not even thinking logical. I can see they're not even considering anything. Like I said, it's a cult-like following. I can see that just the way it is. I was kind of surprised because I didn't know it was that deep, but it's really a cult-like following. Like, there's nothing, even from yesterday to today, the people in your chat room have not disagreed with you about anything. Before I even began to speak, I seen the comments rolling up, insulting me, making all these judgments about you have a cult-like following. And I'm not mad at you, brother. I told you, I don't hate you. I want you to be successful. I want you to make $10 billion. But you are a product of victim consciousness. And you need to we need to get you some counseling. If we need to get you a doctor, bro. Maybe we can call Dr. Bahat. I don't know. But you are experiencing pain that you need to get over, and you're taking out that pain verbally on your show on black women in general. Now, you can try to say that you're a surgeon fixing a problem and all of that, but, brother, I'm going to tell you, I got to definitely disagree with that. And anyone that just tuned into your show was a regular black woman that heard you for the first time, she'd probably be like, God damn, do our men really hate us like this? Is this what really going on? You see what I'm saying? Because, like I said, you never show the balance. You never have the shows really showing the other side of things. So while you do speak truth, it is not. I don't think you go about it the right way. That don't mean I'm telling you to stop. Like you said, what somebody eats doesn't make another person shit. But I disagree, and I disagree with the cult-like following. Like I heard you talking about the other day. You told me, man, somebody about someone's chat room. I've never seen a chat room this nasty and dirty. And you can say in some ways, Tommy, you try to say I'm disrespectful, but I've seen you communicate with other people. I'm very respectful. I might say some things you don't like in a way that, sarcastic, whatever, but I love you, brother. I'm not here to disrespect you. And the way that you act and the way the people in your chat room act, I can see why they support you in your terrorism of black women.
Last night, I and we looked at your chat room after the show when you went live.
Tic-tac.
Your chat room was calling me crispy, ugly, stupid, pedophile. You even had some rolling up there with my daughter's name in it.
Those are not my people.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Hey, y'all,
Listen.
I'm going to let him talk. Because even when he sat there and said all that crap about me, I said, go ahead. Let him just go.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead. Okay.
Listen, bro.
Well, let me say this. I made a video, right, called a while ago, called Black Women Created, Tommy Sotomayor. And I said, how are you going to use crispy as an insult and be pro-black and insult a man for being dark-skinned? So, bro, I'm not with all of that. If you seen something in my chat room, when I'm doing my shows, I don't have the time sometimes I'm not looking at the chat room. And that night, there was a lot of random people that came over to hate Tommy Sotomayor. But most of the people that come watch me they all came and said, baby, we agree with you, but I don't support the nasty stuff that goes on in the chat room. But go ahead, brother.
You were allowed to say things about my audience to the point of where they were saying, cut this dude off. He was disrespecting you and them. I said, no, just gonna let him keep talking. And in the process of letting you keep talking,
Have you
I
heard
tried
him
to point out what
disrespect them?
your audience did, and you immediately said, "Oh, them ain't my regulars." But I had to listen to you tell me of what you read, and I guarantee you didn't hear anybody tell you was a faggot.
I heard women disrespect them.
Yeah.
You didn't see anybody tell you suck.
Yes, I did.
No, oh, Jesus Christ.
I'm reading it right now.
Yeah, I'm reading it too. Where did somebody say this? Show it
Lex,
to me.
you're a very dumb man. I heard people say,
wow, is that what I
Lex,
said? I have
Lex is a retard.
I have a 10-year-old who's right here who's listening to this. And an 8-year-old. The 10-year-old just said, that's not what you said, though. That isn't what I said. I said, you don't have anybody saying this. And you turn around and said, somebody called me stupid. Look, people call me stupid in my own chat room, and you saw it.
I've seen things worse than faggot in this chat room.
Jesus Christ, and what was it?
There's so much to say.
Well, I can actually put on the screen.
There it is. He is a faggot right there. See it?
Where is it?
It's right there.
Sam Lasco is literally one of your little trolls. For me saying, don't say, my audience doesn't say nothing. This is on repeat. You can go back. Before I said nobody's called you that, nobody had called you that. But you can prove me wrong, bro, and I'll pay you. Go back and look at it. Somebody called you that before I just said it, I'll give you money. How about that? If they didn't, then it's an obvious troll, one of yours who wanted to prove my audience wrong. But I can sit up here and read your audience right now of what is under the last video title. Lex destroys Tommy Sotomayor, reacts like he was raised by a single woman. And I can just read comment after comment after comment. But you wanted to say something about my audience? Cult following? Nobody in your audience. Matter of fact, let me read one. Truth and Thomas Jerome Harris don't mix. Last I checked, your name was Lex Vortex. But let's continue. He totally ignored your statement of the high graduation of black women. Positive information about black women on the show. Not happening. Now that was the simplest, the sweetest thing was a person dropping documents. Your audience. But you want me to read some of how many of the bitches they call me? How many coons and crispy they call me? Right here. Now go look at my video. Same thing. Scroll down. You have more people in my comment video calling me out of my name than you. And I think that's strange that you would say this. That the only time you were able to get somebody to call you a faggot was when you said, well, people call me stuff like that. Nobody has said it before. I understand someone telling me he sounds stupid. He's incorrect. He doesn't get logic. Get this man out of here. Tommy doesn't want to hear the real. I understand that. I don't understand.
Me too, because that is the real.
See?
I mean, that's my opinion. That is the real. I mean, anybody that can see it clearly knows that is the real. That's what keeps happening. I mean, the same thing. It's even worse tonight. Like, you know what I mean? You, for some reason, you just don't like to be challenged in a certain way, and then you come with the, distraction tactics and pointing out little idiosyncrasies of the conversation and getting away from what we're really talking about, and then your audience starts talking about get them out of here because they don't like to see their cult leader get handled in this manner. It's just like, I mean, bro, you're not Jesus Christ. I think you're a great man. I think you're a very intelligent person, but you're not above reproach, just like you say the black woman's not above reproach. You know what I'm saying? What's good? What do they say? What's good for the goose or something is good for the geese. I mean, I'm being perfectly honest with you, brother. I'm not. Like I said, I support some of the things you say. This is my opinion. I don't agree with it. I don't understand why you get all out of whack, why your audience, you know, acts like this is some Jim Jones stuff. Like they just like you said. Well, I never agree on any fact you say, Tommy. Your audience have never agreed on anything that I've said, and I know, what I'm saying, that I haven't said everything wrong. So what I'm saying, I think it's kind of a thing where we just don't agree on certain things, and that's just the way it's gonna be.
What's good for the goose is good for the gander.
Oh, gander, that's right.
What did he say, geese?
I have let you on several occasions not only speak, but continue to disrespect me in your speech. And that's fine, bro.
What was the disrespect?
Because as a cult leader, I would bring somebody on who's going to disrespect me once and let them do it again. Because that's what cult leaders do. They allow people to hear another side and choose for themselves. That's what cult leaders do.
Oh, man.
Like black women.
It's been anal.
They would allow a man to have an opinion about them that they didn't like, and they would let that man ride with it and let the people who know them decide if that man's right or if that man's wrong. If black women were such great people, they wouldn't need a PR person, because nothing a YouTuber would say about them would make them look bad, because nothing you say about the iPhone will stop people from not buying a new one when it comes out, because enough people have had good experience with it that people like me who own Androids, who say I'd rather have a Android, don't change their mind. But it's cool, bro. I'm not going to disrespect you. I've given the audience what they wanted. Your audience said I did cut you off. Well, they can't say I cut you off tonight. Your audience said that I did X, Y, Z, and you didn't get a chance to speak and whatever. You got a chance to diss me all throughout my show. And I think
I think you did a great job tonight, honestly. It's a lot better than last night. It's like you've grown since last night.
He said it's like
you did
you
a great
grown.
job. Your audience got a little ways to go.
He said your audience
you did a
got
great
ways
job
to go.
tonight. I seen growth in you. So,
Who's
hopefully,
this guy?
the same way you said people not gonna stop loving iPhones, brother, we're not gonna stop loving black women. No matter how much you bash them, we're gonna love them. We're gonna love them back home. We ain't gonna hate them back home. Love is the transformational power that you need to learn, that everybody needs to learn, that your audience needs to learn. You cannot bring somebody home while throwing rocks at them, brother. Love is a very important thing, and the love for your people is a very important thing. You can be as,
Guy's on fire.
like I said, I'm a humanist at the end of the day.
Here.
You know what I'm saying? In the perfect world, we should all get along. We should all be viewed as humans. But unfortunately, in this socio-political dynamic, we are classified in groups and we are in tribes. And tribes strive together to survive. If you don't have a serious love for your own people, brother, then something is wrong.
Oh, no.
Well,
Jesus
Senior
Christ,
Longwin,
Tom
thank
Brady.
you for coming on the show, and thank you for acknowledging my growth. Too bad I cannot acknowledge the same in you, but you have a nice woman. Here's a way that you can ride on out.
The truth is stranger than fiction.
Truth is stranger than fiction.
All right, y'all. There it goes. I did what you a-holes who don't like me said I wouldn't do. I let the childish Negro come on the show. And I let the childish Negro throw insults like a bitch.
And he did grown. What's
like
the
a scorned woman, he spent his whole time throwing insults over and over again.
You see what he's doing?
Waiting on you to get upset with it.
You see what he's
and I want to know how many of you guys noticed that.
I see what
that the way that he rolls is to insult. And that's the reason why I put up the Dr. Mayat debate.
About himself the whole
because when it came to the Dr. Mayat saying something he thought he didn't like, he got upset. And all she asked him was, do you know what this is?
I think he talked how he thinks.
That pissed him off. That all she did was ask, do you know what this is?
I received the message.
Do you understand? This man's whole thought process was never to challenge what I was saying.
Hey, the score is
it was to tell me
33-33.
something
Third quarter.
sarcastic about what he feels about the type of person
And
I am.
I just got a message. I don't know. I'm in a playoff game. It's the last game.
Right. He not
It's
only
game
insulted
7.
me, he insulted the audience. He not only insulted me and the audience, but any black woman who listens to me. So this man loves you so much, black woman, and he doesn't believe you can make a decision opposite his. Because if you do, then he loses love for you. He now says that you're stupid, that you're ignorant, that there's something wrong with you. You're broken because you don't live life or see life the way that he does. And I want you black women to understand that the majority of these so-called pro-blacks, their reactions and their thoughts and their words would be completely different.
Say, on the
They would respect.
say, gay.
Debate, I would have still won. Debates are not based upon who got loud and who didn't. Who had a bigger crowd
What is he talking
or
about?
who had the most thumbs up. Debates are won by
Keep getting high.
oh, there it goes. We'll go with both.
Perhaps the moon knows the secret of the new
He
sound.
got his girl.
So frightened.
Second interview for a reason. To prove that you don't have to act emotional or let someone call you emotional to prove that if they don't have a point.
He's doing a live early. I didn't see the live, but I don't have to. And let me say, I need a co-host tonight, a gay male co-host to call in and join me on the line tonight. Pause. Not bisexual, but gay, to be my co-host tonight. We have to talk. This story, pardon me, by way of TMZ and a host of other sites, this young man from the very popular television show Empire, allegedly assaulted in Chicago, 2 o'clock in the morning. I don't mean to laugh, but what white boys are running around in Chicago at 2 o'clock in the morning with ski masks and ropes attacking black people? Are we that gullible? Folks, this has Tawana Brawley written all over it. Do you know who Tawana Brawley is? Do you know that very popular story? Google that along with Cruising for Sex. I'll wait on you. Okay. Good evening. Yeah, folks, I'm on the bullshit. Hold on a second. That might be one of my co-hosts. Hey, Dana, can you call the line? I need you tonight, Dana. I'm with the bullshit tonight. Yeah. I wanted to talk about
I peeped game from
the
start.
new
He be
male
having like
cheerleaders
his co-host's girl
in the
who he
Super
called,
Bowl
right?
coming up. But I said,
Detective
I'll get back
Facts
to
and all
that. This is the trending story.
Right.
Did you Google it? Yeah.
But she could get it out with saying
where are we going in 2019?
Because to where it's though.
Let me get back to the story with this young man.
He won't be sued for it because
hopefully
it came out
he's
of her
okay.
mouth,
Let me
not
just
his.
say that first of all. I saw a picture.
So he can get that off like,
with
Jussie. I didn't
His
say
name's
it. She
Jussie.
said it.
He's got a little scar on his face. Hopefully he's okay.
She expressing her opinion on my show. So
But
he won't get
reports are
flagged
saying
for
he
it.
was attacked.
His YouTube account.
He went out for
you know
Subway,
what I mean?
2 o'clock in the morning.
So he called up. If you want to say that.
Let me light up a cigar
this
because this is going to be a long show.
But he can't
I feel a 3-hour show already. Hang on a second.
And then people call in, and then they'll say.
Folks, there's certain.
So he's just entertaining it all.
Behavioral patterns that apply to certain cultures and or groups. Let me say that again. There are certain behavioral patterns that apply to certain cultures and or groups. We all have urges. And those urges at any given point in time can, dominate our